don't waste money, but you know, a 500 peso tip, which is $10, will open up almost any door. Yep. And a 100 peso tip is appreciated.
I started figuring out if I had an establishment with my YouTube platform, it'll be 10 times better. So that's what gave me the boost up to come and start this business.
Even maintenance to a degree, but repairs especially are so inexpensive and so quick. I mean, if you get a donut in the bumper, $75, give or take, depending on how big the donut is. And I can have that repaired in one day at my paint and body guy. Try doing that in the United States or some of these other countries.
Don't come down and open another real estate office, another bar, another restaurant. It's like 400 pigeons fighting over the same slice of bread.
If you want to make money or you even live on it, you need to see that you're coming forward. You cannot say, oh, client, you know what, today I do not feel like going for work. I feel like chilling. It's not possible. You do it every day or you just leave it. And you need to be rich when you come here. You can do that. But I'm not rich. I'm a poor guy.
Yep.
But happy.
You have 4 working for you. Try and get at least one that speaks both Spanish and English.
So it's costing me about $1,000 a month, more or less, just to sustain all these 27 dogs and 11 cats.
Because when you come to a foreign country, you kind of look for your own to really get the lay of the land and know how things are. So I just wanted them to feel welcome inside these walls.
Well, was it the situations, or was it they didn't come prepared with enough money to run it for 6 months to see if the concept even worked?
Right.
That is a lot of the time the problem. You know, how many people come down here thinking they're going to strike it rich within 3 months?
Hey folks, this is Mr. T, back again here from sunny Sosua, Dominican Republic. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to interview a few business people down here who are either cranking up business or who's already established in business, and we got to hear their experiences and opinions about how to go about it the best way. I'm also going to be giving you my 10 cents worth of the smartest way to go about funding your lifestyle down here. Let's get started with some interviews first. All right, folks, I'm with the owner of the bar I just filmed there, Un Chin. This is Jay. Thanks for being on camera.
No problem.
All right, so you're cranking up 2 new businesses here. What's your angle on making money here?
I mean, we're just a bar. We're going to sell cold beer cheap with pretty ladies, and it's a pretty simple plan. We're going to make the best tostones. The
República Dominicana.
República Dominicana. You know, I guess it would be more like a gastro pub version of tostones.
And the other business that you'll crank up?
Oh, well, I'm working on a podcast. We're launching a podcast in, hopefully about a week, maybe this week.
Yeah, what's it going to be called?
Black America.
Okay.
So, yeah, Finger Black America. So shout out to Finger.
Yeah, he's another YouTuber and social media guy down here. So you connected with him?
Yes.
And there was another business as well.
Oh, well, that's part of Un Chin. This is Un Chin Mas, and essentially we have the bar, which is just a walk-up beach bar, and then we have this VIP room that we rent the whole room by the hour or the day for, you know, parties and family reunions and whatever, or you just want to chill out and have a good time. And we also have an arcade system that we rent out by the hour. So it can be rented out by the hour or by the day.
Fantastic. And what made you come down to Dominican Republic?
I moved to the Dominican Republic because I was tired of the United States and the insanity that has become the United States. It's really sad, and I just was tired of putting up with it. I'm a straight white male who is unwanted in my home country, and so I moved to a country that actually likes me.
Fantastic. Was there a reason why you actually wanted to crank up business down here?
Well, my intention was to build off-grid solar-powered homes, which is what I do in the United States. I'm a carpenter by trade. And my intention was to do that, and just a series of events led me to this bar, and so I opened the bar mainly to stay busy, and it'll be for sale in about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sold for a big profit, I hope.
I hope so. We're going to make this a profitable enterprise, and someone who wants to come in and operate a profitable business turnkey. I'm going to take care of all the difficult things, and it is very difficult opening a business in the Dominican Republic.
You just had some challenges with your electrics there for a couple of months, didn't you?
Yeah, it took me like a month and about 9 visits, probably 20 total hours to get my electricity working. And I did some stuff that probably would never happen in the United States. That's what you got to do here. You just got to go forward. You hit the gas, you do it.
I know you've also hired somebody around you, one of the locals, to help open a few doors. I don't know how good your Spanish is, but
Yes.
Is that something you would recommend for somebody cranking up a business, that they get a local person who can
Yes.
fight for you?
Really what I would do is just spread money around. And I'm a big tipper. In America, I'm a tipper. When I come here, I tip, and I tip to American standards. And it's amazing how much can get done by just spreading 100 to 500 pesos around. And that was my advice. The Dominican Republic, especially Sosua, runs on money.
Yeah.
And if you're generous, and don't waste money, but a 500 peso tip, which is $10, will open up almost any door.
Yeah.
And a 100 peso tip is appreciated.
Fantastic. Great comments, and I wish you all the very best with your various adventures here.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Okay, thanks for your comments. All the best. Cheers. Yeah, folks, I'm here with Finger Sosua Creole Soul Food. As you can see, he's got things happening here. Now, how long do you run the business for, Finger?
It's been 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to crank up this place?
Well, I figured I had a big YouTube platform. I brought a lot of guys here, and I started figuring out if I had an establishment with my YouTube platform, it'd be 10 times better. So that's what gave me the boost up to come and start this business.
And you serve Creole food?
I sold Creole food and also soul food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And what's the winning edge to your business, would you say, apart from the Creole food, because not a lot of people have that?
Well, I would say it like this, I can't complain. Of course, shout out to Black America. I got a lot of supporters in America that come down and support. Some days bad, some days good. And of course, the slow season does count, but everything is well.
But one thing I see you do, you're very active online, like myself.
Yes.
And would you say that's a big part of keeping your business running and growing?
Most definitely, any business owner, that especially in a tourist area, that own a business, and if you have a platform, that's gonna help you out for the world.
Fantastic. I know you're busy over here. There's a big party going on, so
I'm kind of pretty busy.
thank you so much for your comments. All the best.
Thanks
All
a lot,
right,
Mr.
and just give yourself a shout out, your channel name.
Hey, Finger 2.0. Y'all gonna follow me, subscribe. Y'all get something good in there. IGN numbers, that's what I do.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye. So I'm here with Robert from Gringo Car Rentals, and you also do real estate. We'll just talk about both. Thanks for jumping on camera again.
Absolutely, Mr. T. My pleasure.
Fantastic. Now, Robert, how long have you run, say, Gringo Car Rentals, just to talk about that business first?
Gringo Car Rentals, I've run for 2 years now. Been on the island permanently a little over a year. So I've been running the business here physically for about a year and a half, but had it up and running before that. Very much enjoy it.
Very good. And was it a difficult process to get the whole thing going?
Not really. It's kind of like jumping off a cliff, though. You got to decide, okay, what vehicles you want to buy, what's your budget, how much you want to invest, and kind of what maybe your niche market is. So it wasn't super difficult, but I did have to take some cash reserve and say, okay, I'm going to do this to generate this, and hope, of course, that you can build the clientele, which I do on your wonderful Educated Traveler vlog, which is awesome. I've gotten many clients from it, and hopefully continue to get more, but that has helped me build the clientele that has become a repeat clientele.
Fantastic. And you're close to the airport as well, so for anybody flying in?
I live 5 minutes from POP, Gregorio Luperon Airport. I do also have taxi friends, so if someone comes in other areas, I can make arrangements for them to be picked up. But typically what I do, I'll get the car ready, washed up, cleaned, make sure there's a proper amount of gas, and then I'll track their flight, wait for them at the airport, pick them up, take care of the paperwork, collect the cash. They go on their vacation, no headaches, no muss. And then when they return the car to me, it's usually the same thing. They'll come down to departures at POP, Puerto Plata Airport, and I'll just double check the car's in good condition, correct amount of gas, and they take their luggage and off they go. So very, very little inconvenience to most of my clients.
Just like that. Fantastic. Would you recommend people to come down here and do business?
Absolutely. I mean, everything's a challenge. Doesn't matter whether you're in the Dominican Republic, the United States, or the United Kingdom. Business is going to be a challenge. You have to be up to the challenge. You have to be willing to see some setbacks, i.e. in my business, AC compressors, condensers sometimes, and batteries, because of our heat and humidity are my three biggest problems.
Probably scratches and accidents by clients?
To a degree. Usually I haven't been too bad. Most expensive one so far, $200. Client got hit by Sosua Beach. I try to educate my clients, where certain places I don't recommend them to park. But yeah, occasionally you get a broken tail light. Those are about $80 to replace. But here it's so cool because repairs and even maintenance to a degree, but repairs especially, are so inexpensive and so quick. I mean, if you get a donut in the bumper, $75, give or take, depending on how big the donut is. And I can have that repaired in one day at my paint and body guy. Try doing that in the United States or some of these other countries.
The other thing I see you've done is you kind of working from home, and you got vehicles. You made sure you had the space to park your vehicles, and a lot of them are on the road. Would you recommend that over getting you see people coming down, they'll hire a premise for whatever the business is that they're going to crank up. Authorities, police, beggars, all sorts of people will come running in when you have an open door business.
They will.
You seem to avoid a lot of that, correct?
I do avoid a lot of that. I'm very lucky because of where I live, and the area we're standing in right now actually used to be, we'll call it a yard. But because of the car rental business that is happening here with 20 some odd cars, my neighbor and myself cleared this entire area and flattened it out and basically made a parking lot. Obviously that saves us money on having to rent a different space. And we're obviously hoping that most of the time there's not 20 cars here, because then it gets complicated. But point being, this minimizes our cost. It's still easy for me to get to where I need to be. And if I really need to look at a situation, I have other options. So it depends on how you want to attack it. This works for me. It's
fantastic. Well, I can give you a feather in your cap. Many people have given good reviews back on your service there. So look at the banner in the bottom of the screen. You see for Gringo Car Rentals, and contact Robert for your needs. If I could switch to the other topic, which is real estate. While all the folks are driving around the island, you get involved as well, both with the clients who rent the cars and other clients obtaining real estate for them.
Absolutely. And I'm the type of guy that I'll ask everybody everything. So when I meet up with a client or communicate with a client about a rental car, I will also tell them that I'm a realtor of over 18 years from California, transplanted here, actually have a real estate license from California and been doing the actual business. So that sometimes even develops a secondary source through that client, and then sometimes even their friends. I tell them, if you refer me business, I'll give you X out of my commission in dollars, not pesos. Now, I work with a company called DR Listings, which is owned by a very, very good friend, Chip Bomarito. I rarely have to go into the office except for certain meetings, things like that, possibly meeting with attorneys for paperwork. But most everything I do is either out of my living room or meeting with a client either at their property, or meeting a client at a restaurant to go look at a property, or just sit down and talk about what their needs are.
Yeah, so it's land, it's apartments, condos, businesses as well as
everything.
Villas.
Oh yeah, villas. I've got apartment buildings. I've got $10 million resorts up for sale. I've got a bar cafe in Sosua currently.
So a lot of in your portfolio.
Yes, I mean, it's varied. Basically, I'll sell anything. I just won't sell your kids.
Okay, very good. Super duper. So, last question. Would you recommend anybody to come down here and be a realtor and compete with you? Because a lot of people actually come here, they want to be a realtor or open another restaurant, and it's not for the faint-hearted. You gotta do it right.
It's not. I saw a couple pack it in recently. For whatever reason, they decided they could not. And it's not easy, and that's why I also have the car rental business. The car rental business, if everything's rented, pays my bills. That allows me to also build my real estate business, but still have a steady stream of income, taking care of what I need.
Takes the stress off, yeah.
Yeah, it takes the stress off, and that helps. So, I mean, yes, absolutely.
I think also the prospects, if they're dealing with a realtor who's stressed out because he or she hasn't sold anything for 8 months, then they're dealing with somebody who sometimes puts the pressure on
unethically, differently. And yes, I mean, if you want to come down here and become a realtor, it's really going to depend on your personality, your people skills, and your work ethic.
And maybe if they've got some money behind them too.
Yeah, and it's never been an easy business. In 18 years in California, it's not an easy business. You've got to build your clientele. You've got to get out there and work. You've got to get known to people. So no, it's not an easy business. You'll see a lot of people will have a side or an additional income, or they're lucky enough to have a substantial amount of money in the bank.
You're a great example with Gringo Car Rentals, and contact Robert if you need some real estate or want to just inquire. And thank you so much for adding your brilliance on camera again. And all the best with your business.
In your opinion, brilliance, I'm just sharing what little bit of knowledge I have.
He's being very
thanks
humble.
to you, an educated traveler, I have built a nice clientele and will continue to build it. And I love this island. This is living my dream.
Fantastic. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Care. Now, as I've given advice before in my documentaries about making a living down here, if you don't have to work down here, that's the best way. If you have an income source from overseas, investments that you can tap into, pensions, benefits, whatever, or you have a business already set up that you can operate from online, then stick with that. Because once you start getting into this marketplace, it's not as easy as it looks, and that's why I'm making this video as well. If you can survive on overseas money, that's the best way. Let me give you the Mack truck analogy. If making money was the same as filling a truck full of nuts, in many modern countries you're filling it with coconuts. Down here, they fill it with peanuts. If you don't want to work super hard for very little, then maybe it's an idea to come with an income. If you've already decided that, well, I don't have an income source from overseas or not enough, I need to work if I come to Dominican Republic, then do yourself a favor. Don't look for jobs, because there's simply no jobs here that pays sufficient for you to make a decent living. The highest paid job I ever managed to get somebody was about 20,000 pesos per month, and divide that by, at the moment, 56.5, and you'll get it into dollars. The only way to make decent money down here, potentially, if you do well at it, is to be self-employed. Start your own business. Now, if you are going to work down here, then really think hard about how you structure that business. Do you work from home? Do you get an office? Do you get a space like for running a restaurant or bar or some other kind of business? I find the open door businesses are the most dangerous in terms of you can have hustlers, police, different government department people walking in, beggars, all sorts of surprise visits, where if you work from home, then you don't have those surprise visits and you can structure your business to be exactly how you want it in regards to taxes or structure. You may have an overseas company. You got to just think that through, or hire me as a consultant. I can give you a lot of help on that one. I am always a favor of work from home businesses because it gives us that peace and tranquility that we need, and then we just connect with the prospects we're looking for, help them get their services or products, and they're happy, we're happy, and we're not being harassed by other people that shouldn't be in the equation. Now, one piece of advice I'd like to give folks out there is, if you're gonna do business down here, think of a niche type business. Don't come down and open another real estate office, another bar, another restaurant. It's like 400 pigeons fighting over the same slice of bread. Why not come up with something that's unique, where you're first to market a service or a smarter angle on that service that's already been provided in the marketplace, but you have an angle to it. It's amazing how many people just want to come down here and think that, oh, tourism's going to be good. You know, let's see how the bar does. I found a good spot. They become like a leaf in the wind, affected by low season, which is like 8 months of the year here, if not more. So if you're going to do business down here, do it smart. Work from home. That's a good one. And then make sure you've got a niche product or service, and then work hard. Speed of the boss, speed of the crew. Don't assume you can just open a business, put a couple of employees in there, check the till in the morning, and then come back and check the till at night, and then give them a hard time for business being slow. That's been done so many times down here, and they normally don't last more than 3 to 6 months and they're out of business. It's like an aeroplane. If you're going to get it off the tarmac, you give it full crank to the accelerator, and then you wait till you're in the cruising altitude you want to be before you pull back on the throttle. Okay, folks, I hope that helps. Let's move on. Yeah, folks, I'm with a friend here, Marcus, who's a metal worker and much more. So thanks for being on camera, Marcus.
Hi.
How many years have you been working like independently?
6-7 years now.
You prepare a lot of the stuff from your workshop,
Yeah.
and then you shoot out and deliver.
Deliver, mount, fix, or I go out and repair stuff, redo, renovate.
Why did you choose to do this? Because you're good at it, or I mean, a lot of people change their occupation when they come down here.
I came to that like the virgin being pregnant. It was not planned, it just developed. So I had a different business back home in Germany, but here I found a new
Niche.
a niche to do something, because I was bored. Only surfing or so is not what a young guy like me is being filled out with. So I started repairing stuff at my house, and then I repaired small stuff for friends, and then they asked me, can you do me this, can you do me that, and now it's my main job.
And it keeps you busy?
Oh yeah.
Why would you say you're very busy when maybe somebody else out there is not? Or would you say all metal workers are busy?
Many people here that live for some time have experience with others, and by the time they just come to me, and most of them stay with me. So I have a lot of frequent clients that come back for the next project and for the next repair. Others, I don't know why they don't have job. Maybe because they didn't get referred, or they didn't do it the way the client wanted it, so they don't call them again. I mean, the market regulates everything.
Yeah.
We don't need government to tell us what to do or what not to do. Nobody ever asked me for some kind of qualification papers, which I don't have, of course, but nothing breaks what I do, so I think it's okay.
Well, I know you do it once, you do it properly, and you're very accurate. So, yeah, I understand why you get repeat business. Any advice to somebody coming down, wanting to become entrepreneurial down here and start a business?
If you want to work hard, ready to sweat every day your ass off, and have seldom time to go surfing or forever vacation stuff, welcome here. It's the right place.
Okay, so that tough.
So if you want to make money, or you even live on it, you need to see that you're coming forward. You cannot say, oh, client, you know what, today I do not feel like going for work. I feel like chilling. It's not possible. You do it every day, or you just leave it. And you need to be rich when you come here. You can do that. But I'm not rich. I'm a poor guy.
Yep.
But happy.
But happy. Very good. Well, final advice to anybody. What kind of businesses do you believe would be the best type of businesses to start down here?
Oh, I know that my business will never run out of work because not many people are willing to do it because nobody wants to work that every day, sweating, dirty, coming home late and so on. But I know that welding works will ever be required as long as we have iron available, perfields, bars and whatever. We need security equipment. It's always a big demand on that. If you're ready to do it and want to sweat, here you are.
Mm-hmm. Is there any reason why you like working from home rather than
I had a workshop for some years, but somehow it came that I made a lot of roofs and other stuff and renovations at the clients' places. So actually I paid rent for not using my workshop, and so I decided to come back to my house, where I started actually. And but I need to avoid noise because I have neighbors close by, and I don't want to scramble around with them. I don't want to noise them. So in case I need a lot to make a lot of noise, I try to keep it to the client's place, especially when it's big stuff. Or small stuff I bring on the other side of my house where it's just Finkerland so far, and there the noise goes to nowhere, nobody disturbing.
Excellent. Okay, well, I wish you all the best with your endeavors, and thanks for jumping on camera again.
Thank you, no problem.
Cheers. Folks, I'm here with Danny at Rancho Tipico and his business partner Pete in the background. Thanks for jumping on camera, Danny.
Not a problem.
Now, what would you suggest to anybody coming down here in terms of opening a business, if that's what they're planning to do? Is it a good idea? And if so, what should they be thoughtful of?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. The first thing the way I would approach it is do not approach it like you would in your own country. Look at it as it's a different country, different culture. Come down first, do some homework, take a look around, see what's lacking, and try and fill that void. If you think you want to open a bar, then come down and take a look at what area you would like to put one in. There's a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants around here. If you are doing a bar or a restaurant, my recommendation would be do something different. Put yourself in the customer's position and say, what reason do I have to go to that place? Is it the food, the drinks? Is it the deco? Now, when you're driving past, you're going to see something that attracts you, that makes you want to go in. So I would try and approach it, do something different.
Mm-hmm. Have an angle.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And in terms of dealing with staff, would you say that's easy or is it very challenging?
The only challenging part is the language. If you don't speak Spanish, it's going to be a challenge. What you would generally do is make sure that your staff speaks English and Spanish. You have 4 working for you. Try and get at least one that speaks both Spanish and English. Mm-hmm. If you don't speak Spanish, which me, very little, enough to get myself in trouble, always it's a good idea to have someone there that speaks both. And as you can attest to, you can go to some places around here that they don't speak one word of English. But you can get by. Don't let that deter you from giving it a go.
And do you need a lot of money to start a business down here, would you say?
It depends what the business is. It would be a good idea if you have some form of security. Until you get established, you're not going to make any money. If you can make enough to pay your overhead, meaning pay for your drinks and pay your rent, you're doing good. If you can make enough to cover all expense, it's a winning proposition, because the only way, I shouldn't say the only way you can go is up, but then you can build up from there. Then you can look at it and say, okay, what can I do now to take it to the next level? Right. So the first thing is, don't come down thinking, I'm going to come open a strip club, I'm going to make a lot of money on that. Mm-hmm. That thinking will get you in trouble right away.
Yeah. So first you got to do the sowing, and then later comes the reaping. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, final question: what's been the most challenging thing for you guys in terms of starting and running this business?
The challenging thing is, as you can attest to, is the power, the electric. It goes out a lot of time. If you don't have a backup generator, or if you don't have batteries of some form to give you at least 2 hours, then you could be in trouble. You can lose everything in your refrigerator.
The freezers.
Yeah, your guests will not want to sit by candlelight, you know. So I would say that's the most challenging thing. And another thing that you have to bear in mind is, especially in this country, if you set up an appointment for someone to meet you at 1 o'clock, they will not show at 1 o'clock. They will show up at 2 o'clock. And they will not understand why you're upset. Okay? So, and don't get upset about it, just expect it. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it is over here. But on the whole, I would not deter anyone from giving it a try.
And how are you looking at the marketplace right now? We are in October.
It's been slow for the last couple of months. And going back to the question that you need a lot of money. You need something so that for the slow months, you're okay until it picks up again. It's been raining for the last few days quite a bit, so that affects the business, especially this business also. Nobody wants to go out when it's pouring rain. This time of the year, it's just, we're in October, it's going to just get busier and busier.
Sorry, I probably forgot to pop the question in there. How often do they cut the power? Is it on a daily basis?
I wish you could say, yeah, you would say on a daily basis. Now, the thing is, it could go off for 5 minutes, it could go off for 3 hours. It is a problem. That's the main thing, that if you're purchasing a place, I would say the first thing, make sure that there's a generator or there's some form of giving you the minimum of 2 hours power.
Yeah. And you guys being a partnership, you've actually got a third partner as well. Is that something you would highly recommend down here?
I would recommend a partnership, but there again, it's not easy with a partnership because the three of us, we've been friends for a long time, but we're three different individuals. We have three different ideas. The thing is to be able to work together and say, sometimes there's a situation where that only two of us agree and one doesn't, but we don't get upset. We said, okay, let's give it a try with the two, because if Ray and Peter see eye to eye and I don't, I said, well, maybe they're seeing something that I'm not seeing.
Right.
So we'll go that way. So
they say trees they survive in nature because they're flexible. So you got to be flexible.
You got to be really flexible.
To make that last. But also, 2 heads are better than 1, and 3 heads are better than 2. So
definitely.
Is that helping you sometimes with awareness?
It helps you a lot.
Because you're on the same team when it comes to protecting the business, protecting the till, making sure nobody skims or steals.
Exactly. And that's touching another point, that if you look around our business here, we have a lot of cameras. And I would recommend that if you decided to do a business, is put cameras in. It deters any problems that may come up.
Or you have the proof afterwards. Look.
Exactly. We can always go back if we're suspicious on something. We can always go back and look at it. Not to trivialize it, but we have a staff member that was taking toilet paper.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the kind of thing. So, and they know there were cameras here, but they still do it. So you got to be beware, and things like that will happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Now you have an angle from experienced restaurant owners in Sosua. So give yourself a little shout out. So what's the you're open here every day. It's great food, hot and cold drinks. You got room for parties and events.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned something about birthday parties.
Yeah, we do. This will be good for anyone coming down, like from Canada, the States, or anywhere. A lot of time people come down to celebrate birthday parties. What we do here, you tell us that your mother, father, friends, or what have you is having a birthday. You can give us a call, send us an email. We will have a cake ready for you free of charge. And we'll provide the music, we'll provide the cake, and all you do is come and enjoy.
And all these friendly girls, will they sing happy birthday for the person?
That's right, for your dad, or your granddad, or
whoever it is, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, excellent words and very helpful. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome.
And Pete for allowing me in here. So all the best with your business, and folks, come down and visit Rancho Tipico. They're just down the road from Dela Cruz Supermarket, 100 meters. So if you can find that in Pedro Clisanta, you'll find Rancho
Yeah,
Tipico.
tell them to come walking down the strip. A lot of people think that there's nothing past Plan B. Yes, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
Come further down.
It's the biggest Kana roof covered restaurant here, so come and see them. Very cozy here. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Thank you.
If you choose to run a registered business in DR, you should speak to a lawyer about all variants of company registration, rules and laws that apply to it. To register a Dominican company will cost you anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. And when you're opening a business bank account, have in mind that it'll take you anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months, depending on which bank you pick. And if you get my consultancy, I can guide you to the best banks. The tax rate for all business entities is a flat 27%. All companies, including those with no income or business activity, must file income tax returns with the DGII every year. For companies operating on a calendar year, returns must be filed on or before April the 30th. The accounting services here can vary from $200 to $350 a month, depending on your company activity, plus an additional $500 to $800 annually to file your tax report with a licensed public accountant. The 18% GST tax must be added to every invoice issued for goods and services. Yeah, folks, I'm here with Phil and Ty from DR Property Guys. Thank you for being on camera today.
Hello.
Hello, hello. You guys are very experienced in the field, and one of your slogans is 50 years of combined experience, correct?
That's correct. I've been here for 24 years now.
30 years, and it's gone like that.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's a lot of experience, not just in real estate, but with everything that's happened and is happening here. So we'll get into that a little bit more. Ty, what does it take to start a real estate company down here if somebody wants to do that?
Well, there's two ways to answer that question, Mr. T. Like 90% of the real estate agencies that have started here, especially in the last 3 years, you don't really need much. We've seen almost a pandemic of unqualified real estate agents starting up companies here. They don't even bother to get their residency paperwork in order. But like we've been doing for, well, in my case, 19 years now, obviously get your legal residency papers in order, form a corporation, and get some form of accreditation locally. I'm going to send you by WhatsApp 2 of my certificates that I've got so you can superimpose them on the screen here. But that's the way I've been doing it for 19 years. And if anyone wants to do that properly, well, it's pretty simple steps. The lawyer obviously helping you to form the corporation and whatnot, but essentially the way we do business is that the buyer himself gets to appoint his own lawyer. So we don't force a lawyer on them. When a closing takes place, it is the buyer's choice. They're paying for the legal fees, so we do not recommend that a buyer is forced upon any particular lawyer. There are several that we work with and we can recommend, but and a lawyer is not necessarily part of the team at all, no.
What's the best and worst things about being in real estate down here?
Best and worst things. We've met some really wonderful people. And the good thing about what we do is that the people that generally we do business with become really good friends, you know. So we've got a list like this of barbecues and events to go to.
Wonderful.
Which is great. But I would say from a professional point of view is guiding people through the steps and the process seamlessly and seeing someone's dream come true. Mm-hmm. Sounds corny, but it's very, very satisfying.
So your heart's definitely in it, I can hear.
Absolutely.
Great. And on the worst side, that's when you meet the basket cases out there.
Working with me.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's fun. I really enjoy it. I don't see a downside.
That's a terminology, tire kickers they use in the car sales industry.
You know.
Do you get those in the real estate as well?
I think we tend to weed them out because the questions that we ask you know, we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste your time. So, I mean, I can't say that we've been affected by loads of tire kickers. Obviously, there are people out there with budgets that are decent, but they want to see a lot of options. But tire kickers in general, I don't think it affects us that much, no.
Folks who start in real estate down here, after say 1 year or 2 years, how many of them make it, are still in business?
I think over the long run, not many. In some places, there are high commissions to be earned, so someone can convince somebody that, you know, they should buy a place. Guy makes his commission, you know, enjoys it for a minute, but it's not a sustainable long-term plan. You know, we don't sell in certain areas, not because we're not able to, but because we don't want to put clients through that experience.
Right.
So that sort of cuts off a potential income stream, but we're not here for the commission. We've been here too long, you know. I'm too much part of this community to worry about, you know, earning a few commissions and showing off about it. Been there, done that.
Right. You may have a cat crawling around up behind you in the curtain there. Never mind that, as long as it doesn't jump on your shoulders. Okay, let's switch to general starting a business, Phil. Can you give some general advice to folks out there?
Sure. My initial background here was travel and tourism, but you know, obviously to start a business here, you need to provide a product or a service. So before you do that, you need to do your research. You need to be sure that the product plugs in here, and you know, permits, licenses, things like that. These are all important. And if you get a good product and a good service, then someone's going to copy it. And if you're too successful, someone might give you a hard time. So networking is really important, you know. Having a godfather at the end of a phone, if you get into a tricky patch, someone that can help sort things out. It's really important. Partnerships. Don't rush into partnerships. They're like marriages. Take your time. Make sure there are no grey areas. Go through the engagement, the marriage, the honeymoon, and the divorce. Make sure everything is crystal clear. Very important that. Human resources, another skill that you're going to need to have. People, there are some amazing people here, but you've got to know where to find them. If you can motivate, inspire, and train them, they will run through hoops for you. And Spanish. You've got to have a good grasp of Spanish, really. It's so important.
Yeah. No, these are very good points. What about working from home compared to working from, like, what I call an open door business, which would be an office or shop or restaurant, or, you know, where folks can, everything from government people to beggars to police, everybody can come walking straight off the street. I personally find a lot of the people who work from home seem happy of it. What's your take on that?
Well, I actually miss being in an office situation, and you're bringing back memories, because when we did have that office, which you went to years ago, all those kind of people came in, the police, the beggars, the food salespeople, the clothes, and
tire kickers.
All of it, you know. I guess I miss it, but I guess, you know, on that basis that we don't have that overhead anymore, we're able to be a bit more flexible, perhaps, with our commission structures. We're able to make deals happen somewhat easier, given we don't have that overhead. So
just back to that, the newbie starting out down here, I've seen people open offices, and within 3 months the office is already shut because it was too overwhelming for them to handle all these kind of situations.
Well, was it the situations, or was it they didn't come prepared with enough money to run it for 6 months to see if the concept even worked?
Right.
That is a lot of the time the problem. You know, how many people come down here thinking they're going to strike it rich within 3 months by opening a beach bar or whatever else? And how many times have we seen those kind of people fail? If you are going to try something, I do recommend having at least 6 months' money to cover operating costs. Otherwise, don't waste your time.
Well, being in advertising, it's amazing. I've called on new owners of businesses. They've spent 40, 50, 60,000 or more kitting out the place, but they're too tight to even put $100 of advertising into that business. So I don't think all of them come as cashed up as they should be to not only kick it off, but to keep growing it.
But that's all about doing your research and doing your planning before you begin. If you follow the steps and the guidelines, you can make it here. You know, there's no reason why you can't. But you've got to be better you got to be better than the rest. You really do.
Another thing I notice is the old style, especially with the bars and restaurants, they hire a couple of staff members in, they check the till in the morning, they stay away all day and they come and check the till at night, and then they can't understand why the business ain't succeeding.
That's where your human resources skills come in.
Speed of the boss, speed of the crew. So
Yeah.
it works if you work it, usually.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to be there hands-on and grow it. There's one food place out in Cabarete, the Mexican tacos, what's it called again?
Gorditos.
Gorditos. I know they worked very hard to develop their first line of management, and then they could kind of take some time off and so forth, but they worked very hard, but they became very successful. So
That's a good example of a well-structured business here.
yeah.
They work very hard. They were there 24/7.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. You gotta work the business, whatever it is. Hey, good comments. Any final advice you want to both just give anybody coming down here considering starting a business?
Research, you know, get your ducks in a row, follow the plan, follow the advice that you've been given, and do what you say you're going to do. Be on time, be the best that you can be. Any product that you offer, it's got to do what it says on the tin.
I was just going to say subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is
yeah.
DR Property Guys.
There we go. Yeah,
it.
good. You got the shout out there. Fantastic. Thank you guys for being on camera, and all the best with your business. And don't be shy to reach out to these gentlemen if you need some help. Land, lots, condos, villas, etc.
We're here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Everyone, I'm with Marie-Christine, who works in the Sosua area. You work from home, correct?
Yes, I work online about 3-4 hours a day.
And then you can sustain your lifestyle from that?
Well, from that income, as well as my old age pension and my husband's old age pension, we manage pretty good.
Okay. Was that something you planned before you came, that you were going to be working online?
Yes, I planned it before because obviously I figured just with our old age income that wouldn't be sufficient to live this lifestyle that we have. Not that it's anything fantastic, we hardly go out or anything, but just to eat the Canadian way pretty much.
So if you were to give advice to somebody coming down that needed to supplement their income or make a living online, what would you recommend to them to do before they travel down? Or?
Well, plan before. If you browse online and check for online job, pretty much like a lot of companies right now are hiring online. So try to figure it out before you come here. It's a lot better. You can also start your own company. There's a lot of things that can be done online, selling wholesale or offering services as well. So there's always, but plan before you come here because obviously otherwise you might be in a pickle if you don't have enough money to survive.
Yeah. One of the biggest parts of the culture down here is money.
Yep.
Cash is king. This is not a welfare society, so those are good words. Now, you also, as a donation side, you have a number of dogs that you take care of. We are
Yes,
standing amongst them here. If I can just film these
some of
cuties here. Yeah.
Yeah, I run a dog rescue in Sosua as well. So basically I get puppies that are abandoned on the street or in a cardboard box or whatever. And I vaccinate them, make them healthy, spay and neuter them, and then try to find them good homes. And most of the money that I spend is coming from my pension. That goes pretty much to the dog. I got 27 right now. So it's costing me about $1,000 a month, more or less, just to sustain all these 27 dogs and 11 cats.
I know you've got a huge heart. Give yourself a shout out if somebody wanted to donate towards your great efforts of rescuing animals here. How would they be able to do that?
They can do that through PayPal or Interac e-transfer if you're Canadian to puppypalacesosua@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you for your great comments, and I hope somebody will support your great cause. All the best with everything down here.
All right, well, I definitely hope so. It's for a great cause.
Excellent. Take
Thank you.
care. So folks, I'm here with Victor from Home of the Brotherhood. Thank you for jumping on camera.
How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You've run this business for how long?
We've been here for 2 years now.
2 years. And what do you specialize in? Because it's quite unique. I see you have different things happening here.
Well, you know that you have to have more than one stream of money coming in. So we have a ladies section of clothes and for children. We try to keep the prices at 500 pesos or less. In U.S. term, $10 or less. And on the other side, we have a manicure and pedicure for men for their hands and they be groomed right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to step inside with me, we can walk inside.
Absolutely. Just before I do, I see you have a slush machine as well.
Slush machine.
Yeah.
We also have coffee, iced coffee, espresso, cappuccino, latte.
Yeah.
So we have that too. We
Okay,
also have a young lady that works for me. Her name is Michelle. She does hair, braids, wigs.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to offer a lot of different things to a lot of people.
Great. Let's have a look inside. I see some wigs up there on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here we have some wigs that are made by hand. This is Michelle.
Hi.
Hi,
This is the lady
Michelle.
that works with me. She does these wigs and she does it by hand. So if anybody that's in this area decides to want a wig and you have some ideas and you want it to look a certain way, this young lady, she will make it for you, or she will braid your hair, or she do like she do me, talk me to death, but you get all of that.
I'm just jealous of those who have hair.
Okay. And
Yeah,
right
you got
here-
lots of clothing. Can I
Right
see?
here we have the women clothing right here. These are mine. I do a series. Called Mr. Nobody. Look me up on Victor Weeks, Facebook or YouTube. We have clothes here. We have men clothes here. We have women clothes. We have bikinis and whatever over here. And let me bring you over here to my location here. And this is what I have for men. We have a cigar bar. We have an actual bar. We have a manicurist, pedicurist that comes right here. And she's sitting in my chair. It's fully massage chairs. We have the foot massage. So if you come through,
Mm-hmm.
you
And
all
air
can come here
conditioning.
and visit us. And it's the home of the Brotherhood,
Mhm.
New York, Boston. So
Fantastic.
come and visit us.
So it's 2 years you've been running it. Prior to coming, did you have some kind of idea what you might do down here, or how
Yes.
did you come to this conclusion of doing all the services and
Well-
sell the products you're doing?
I've been coming here for the last 15 to 20 years, and my goal was to open up a bar here.
Mm-hmm.
But my family back in the U.S., I have daughters and children, and they said, nah, bar might be a little risky in a foreign country. So I went to the next best thing, a manicure pedicure for the people that come here and visit in the women's clothes and
Mhm.
kid clothes. I gave away a lot of the kid clothes under the Wally Wade Clothes Foundation. That's my grandfather. He's from the Caribbean, and we used to give away a lot of stuff. So
Mhm.
part of my first couple of years here, that's what I've been doing.
Fantastic. So if somebody's to come down and start a business here, what's your best advice to them? Yeah.
You know, to come down here and to see the people, get in the rhythm of the people. You can't come down here and want to abuse or mistreat the people down here. I found that if you treat them with respect, they treat you back with respect. So you have to be very respectful and mindful that they don't have the access to economics like we do back home. So you always have to keep that in mind.
So in terms of your demographics of clientele, you call it Home of the Brotherhood. Was that something that you had pre-planned, or you kind of just knew it from visiting here that this was the right demographics to target for?
You know, like I said, I've been coming here for the last 10, 15, 20 years. More like 15 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I target the nail salon for the brothers that come down here, for the men that come down here to get their nails and their feet done.
Mm-hmm.
That was a conscious decision.
Right.
So the Home of the Brotherhood is just to let them know that I'm from the U.S. like they're from the U.S. This is our home. We could come sit down here and be relaxed because when you come to a foreign country, you kind of look for your own to really get the lay of the land and know how things are. So I just wanted them to feel welcome inside these walls.
Fantastic. Well, give yourself a shout out. So to find you online, where do they go?
You could go to my website. It's called New York Ballers, Boston Players. And you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Thank you, Victor, so much for being on camera, and I wish you all the best for your business down here.
Sir, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate that.
Cheers. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, folks, I'm with Cornell Jackson from Best Life Fashion. So about, 2-3 years ago, you started a store here in Sosua?
Yes, 2019, December 2019.
Yeah, and that's a lot of handbags, shoes, etc.
Handbag, shoes, luxury brand, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, all the name brand store. Open up, and this is pre-COVID, so 2019. So we had 3 months of great sales, people really enjoying the store. Then we got hit with COVID. So after 3 months, we ended up closing for a whole year. Opened back up after the year, still making sales, but started dwindling, going down slowly. The sales, the volume was going down, and eventually it just started really going down slower and slower. It caused me to look for another location, and I chose Puerto Plata, where the Umbrella Street in Puerto Plata, where all the cruise ships. So now my market now is the cruise ships in Puerto Plata. So I have a second store there, and it's doing very well. It's a larger store, more volume, more people coming off the cruise ships. And so this store in Sosua eventually going to close this one at the end of the year.
So what's your advice to anybody coming down wanting to open a business?
I would say do your research. Even just visit a location and stand there. Just to sit out there and see the traffic. Or you're getting foot traffic, because that's important to have traffic. If not, you're going to be spending much money trying to advertise just to get people to come in your store. You will love a location that you constantly get traffic. So keep that in mind. Location is everything. Location. And if you're not getting that foot traffic, you're not getting the people passing by, no matter how good your product is, no matter what you are selling, if people can't see it or don't see it, you're not going to do well.
Okay, that's obviously for anybody who wants to start a retail or open door business. So great information. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best out there.
Thank you,
so
Mr. T.
if they want to find you online, what do they look at?
Best Life Fashion, bestlifefashion.com, on Instagram, Best Life Fashion RD.
RD for República Dominicana.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, all the best. I'm standing here on the Cabarete Sosua Highway, and there's this favorite place of mine out here, Donna Cella, and you see folks sitting here dining. Now let's go and talk to, we won't talk to Cella because Cella, she's very occupied, but we've got her helper. Hello, Ed from Egypt. He comes here and helps out. Thanks for jumping on camera. Now let me know, what is the success behind this little place? Because I always see a lot of people pulling in here. What would you say is
it's on
the
the
key
way
to her success?
to Encuentro. It's right on the road. You can park your car here. The price is good. The quality of the food is good. It's consistent. It's always clean. And yeah, I see a lot of people coming.
And it's right by the beach. I can see the beach through the gap there. So folks can pull up and jump in the water even.
Yeah, or after you go kiting, you can come eat here.
Yeah.
It's honestly, a lot of people come already, and you guys, most of you watching probably have been here before. If you haven't, just come check it out.
Yeah, so what sort of prices does it range from and to here?
It's very cheap. It's like Dominican prices, so you can buy something to eat for like 100 peso up to like 600 or 700, depending on what you get. There's always daily plates that she cooks, and these are usually in the 150, 200 range, 250, something like that.
So you're not paying for expensive tables or anything. Folks, they come just like you see the group over here. Plastic table, few chairs, few beers, and
Simple,
lots of food. It's pretty cool.
It's not fancy, it's not gourmet, or not in a Michelin star restaurant, but you'll get good food.
Good stuff. And I think, if I can just throw something in the pot, Cella's success has also contributed to the fact that she's there every day, and they say in English, speed of the boss, speed of the crew. There she is, and she's everybody's mother or sister. Yeah, so she runs a strict ship here, but a lot of fun. I've been to birthday parties here.
It's a family business. It's a family thing.
So if anybody wants to start this kind of business, just listen to some of the things we said: location, the prices, good service, 7 days a week, well 6 days a week I should say she's open. So I think she keeps closed on a Tuesday normally, but apart from that she's very consistent and works when she should work. So
always, she's here 6 in the morning, she closes 4 or 5 at night, always here.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Come and visit. Alright folks, that almost wraps it up for this time. I just want to take the chance to promote my relocation consulting services. So if you're either contemplating or you're sure you want to move down here, then save some time, effort and money by avoiding a lot of the pitfalls. I can be hired by the hour. Send me an email to info@educatedtraveler.info and I'll be happy to send you my price plan. I also have other services where you can go on a mini tour, like an introduction tour, where I'll point out all the handy things that took me 15 plus years to get to know, and you'll learn a lot of them within a 3-hour tour. And finally, I can also recommend you check out our online information website or service called InfoHub. And InfoHub gives you access to vetted tradespeople and suppliers and shops in the area, as well as a lot of handy information that's going to help you out. And it's a one-time joining fee. Check it out either in the top right-hand corner of the channel, or you'll see the link in the banner showing below. Okay folks, so see you down here or see you online. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.